You don't need to give up your whole weekend if you want to get in great shape. You don't need to cut out all of your social occasions and stop going out. There's a really common belief that you have to be absolutely perfect with your training and with your diet if you want to get in great shape. And that's just because people have seen loads of information on the internet that's made them believe that. But that's the very thing that's holding people back from getting in great shape, because no one can be perfect. Unless you're a bodybuilder and you want to step on stage at single digit body fat and be absolutely shredded, that's when you would need to be perfect. But most guys aren't trying to get absolutely skinless and shredded to step on stage. They just want to be in better shape. And the reason I know this is because in my early 20s, I competed in bodybuilding, so I experienced it firsthand at that extreme level. Now I no longer compete, but I'm still in good shape and I want to look after myself. And last year I did a 12-week cut, like you can see on the screen here, where I lost over 20 pounds of body fat. But every single Saturday I went out for a meal and I had whatever I wanted, and I still managed to lose fat and get in great shape and maintain it. And here's my client Denny, and we've been working together for the past 5 months, and he's lost over 10 pounds of body fat whilst he's still been going out on the weekend. And as you can see, the difference is absolutely insane in his physique. So if you want to get in sick shape without having to eat chicken and rice on the weekend and just lock yourself away from all social occasions, I'm going to show you how in this video, so keep watching. Like I said earlier in the video, in my early 20s, I competed in bodybuilding, and bodybuilding requires you to get absolutely shredded and you have to be on point with every single meal. And in 16 weeks, I lost over 50 pounds of body fat and I stepped on stage, and I absolutely loved the process, but it did require me to sacrifice everything. And I'm not knocking that. I was okay with that, and I was happy to make them trade-offs at the time. That's just the cost to stepping on stage. And I wanted to do it at the time as it was my passion, and it still is my passion, but I'm no longer interested in competing in bodybuilding anymore because I've now got my own gym, which is the Unit based outside of Manchester. I'm a full-time coach and I've got a baby on the way. So I've got other responsibilities, but being in shape is still really important to me because there's no better feeling in the world when you look good and you feel good in your own skin. It's just the top feeling. So I had to come up with a system where I could still look good and feel good without sacrificing everything else. So I'm gonna show you the exact strategy that I use that allow me to stay in great shape, allow me to still feel good, but just having a little bit more of a flexible lifestyle and not being as rigid. Now, there's so much information on the internet when it comes to dieting and losing fat, and there's always a diet that claims that is the best one for someone to lose fat. For example, carnivore is the most recent one. Eddie Abu talking about if you eat anything apart from steak and eggs, you're gonna die or you're gonna just gain loads of weight. And a lot of the time it just strikes a lot of fear into people because they don't know what to eat and they're scared of eating certain foods because they might gain weight. And a lot of the time it just overcomplicates dieting and losing fat, because the only thing that matters when it comes to losing fat and getting in shape is the amount of calories that you eat and the amount of protein that you eat. Nothing else matters. So all these fad diets, whatever it may be, they work, but they work for the exact same reason. I'm gonna show you why they work for the exact same reason. So I'm gonna explain why every single diet works, because there's nothing special about one individual diet. It's the principles behind it that makes it work. Now I got this. This is my handwriting, so you have to excuse it because it looks like a 5-year-old. But I got this example from a guy called Alex Hormozier, and I thought it was a fantastic way to explain it, and it keeps it very simple. When you eat any food, it's always gonna come from one of these 3 macronutrients, or all 3 of them. So your macronutrients are your 3 main food groups: protein, carbs, and fats. Anytime you eat any calories, any type of food, it's gonna come from protein, carbs, and fats. They're the 3 main food groups. So as you can see here, this is, let's say, a balanced diet. You've got your carbs here, your fats there, and your protein there. When you eat a keto diet, a keto is when you eliminate all carbs from your diet. The reason why a keto diet works is you're eliminating the carbs, and here's a reference point. X's mean eliminating calories. So when you eliminate the carbs, guess what you're doing? You're eliminating calories. That's why keto works. It's not like carbs make you gain fat or carbs make you gain weight. It's because you've eliminated one macronutrient, which is a large portion of calories. It's the same if you're having a low fat diet. So as you can see here, a low fat diet, you're taking fat away, you're taking another macronutrient away, which means you are eliminating calories. So that's the reason why diets work. Or let's say you go for a portion control diet where you eat the fats, the carbs, and the protein, but you have a smaller amount from that to that, and it's smaller. Guess why you lose weight? Because you eat overall less calories. It's the same for carnivore. Carnivore, you eliminate the carbs, but you keep the protein and fat. And the reason why people say, oh, I've lost loads of weight on carnivore, it's not because you were carb sensitive or anything like that. It's because you eliminated loads of calories by just getting rid of one food group, which is responsible for a lot of calories. That's the reason why all diets work. Now you might say, yeah, but Christian, I tried keto, I tried carnivore and it didn't work for me, I didn't lose weight. The reasons why it didn't work is the following. So a lot of the time, when people are eating a balanced diet, they're having a balanced amount of protein, a balanced amount of fat, and a balanced amount of carbs. Then what happens is, let's say they are doing keto, where they take away all of the carbs. So they take away the carbs, but when what people do is they increase the amount of protein and fats that they're having, which means they're not actually eliminating any calories, because the calories they do eliminate from the carbs, they're just replaced by having more fats and more protein, because people start having like loads of butter with the steaks, or loads of butter with their eggs, and loads of cheese, and fats are really calorie dense. So as you can see here, that's a portion size, an average portion size. People are now eating more protein and more fats, and it's just eliminating the calories that you're taking away from the carbs. So that's why the diet didn't work, because you were just eating calories from another place. So a lot of these diet trends that you see online, a lot of the times just overcomplicate fat loss, and they just create all these rules around, you can't have this food, you can't have that food. And then that's why people really struggle, because they want to eat certain foods and then eventually they just end up cracking. 99% of people need to only know two things when it comes to fat loss. It's how many calories you need to eat and how much protein you need to eat. And then once you know that, you can start to enjoy some of your favorite foods and still lose weight without doing anything crazy or extreme. So I'm going to give you the easiest formula you'll ever use for you to figure out how many calories you need to eat on a day-to-day basis to either lose weight, maintain weight, or gain weight. Dead easy. So in a minute, you're going to see this formula pop on the screen, and I'm going to talk you through it. Right, so if you look on the screen here, you'll see a list of numbers ranging from 7 all the way to 21. So for you to figure out how many calories you need for you to start losing weight, you need to do the following. Take your body weight in pounds. I'm going to use myself as an example here. So I weigh roughly 200 pounds. Now, as you can see, next to the numbers are brackets of either losing weight, maintaining weight, or gaining weight. So in this case, we're looking to lose weight. So if you wanted really fast weight loss, all you'd do is times your body weight by the numbers in the bracket that represents extreme weight loss. So for example, take your body weight and you'd times it either by 7, 8, or 9, and that will give you the amount of calories you need to start eating on a day-to-day basis to start having extreme weight loss. But let's just say you want normal weight loss, just average weight loss. All you do then is, again, take your body weight and just times it either by 10, 11, 12. That fits into this bracket here. So we'll use myself as an example. I weigh 200 pounds, roughly 14-ish stone. Okay, so if I wanted to lose weight at a normal rate, I could we'll just use 10 because it's easy, 10 times 200, and that equals 2,000 calories. That's the amount of calories I need to eat on a day-to-day basis for me to start losing weight. So all you need to do is figure out how much weight you want to lose, if it's fast, if it's moderate, and then just times your body weight by one of these numbers here, 7 to 12, and that's the amount of calories you need to eat on a day-to-day basis. Now for the next thing, you need to figure out how much protein you need to eat. Really, really simple, this one. All you need to do is figure out what your body weight is in pounds again, and then it's 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 14, let's say 14 stone, which is 200 pounds, you would need to eat 200 grams of protein per day. If you weigh 180 pounds, you need to eat 180 grams of protein per day. So now you know, all you need to do is hit your protein target and hit your calorie target. Now, if you're wondering, yeah, but Christian, I don't know what I need to eat to hit 200 grams of protein per day, I want to show you. I'm going to give you the exact amount of food that you need to eat that will allow you to hit 200 grams of protein per day. So 100 grams of protein equals 450 grams of any lean meat or fish. So if you look here are some foods that you can have. It can be chicken breast, it can be turkey breast, it can be extra lean mincemeat, it can be white fish, it could be cod, it could be tuna, it could be turkey mincemeat. If you had 450 grams of any of these foods, either one of these foods or a combination of these foods, it'll give you 100 grams of protein. So you need 200. So all you need to do is times it by 2. So all you need is 900 grams of any of these foods in a day for you to hit 200 grams of protein. And if you didn't want to eat that amount, all you need to do is potentially have a protein shake with 2 scoops, and that gives you roughly 45 grams of protein. So you could take away some of the food, some of the meats, and just have a protein shake as a replacement. But altogether, roughly 900 grams of any meat per day will give you 200 grams of protein. And you can mix and match. So for example, you could have 2 scoops of protein for breakfast, and then you could have 450 grams of chicken for your lunch. And then in the afternoon, you could have potentially 300 grams of prawns. It's just as a rough example, and that will give you 200 grams of protein. Now we know how much protein we need to eat, how many calories we're eating. We need to figure out how many calories we've got left after we've hit our protein target for us to enjoy some of the sweet tasting stuff that you want to eat, or savory stuff. Right, so with protein, for every 1 gram of protein, there's 4 calories. So that means if you're eating 200 grams of protein, there's going to be 800 calories that you're eating directly from protein. But there's little bits of fat within, like chicken breast, mince meat, turkey mince. There'll be little bits of fat. So what we're going to do is round that number up to 5. So you're going to do 200 times 5, and that equals 1,000. That means you're eating 1,000 calories from a combination of protein and fat. So that means if you're eating 2,000 calories a day, you've hit your protein target already, which is the most important thing. You've got 1,000 calories left. That means you can go and enjoy something that's 1,000 calories worth, and it could be some pizza, it could be you won't be able to eat a whole pizza with that, but you could have a couple of slices of pizza, you could have a burger meal, you could have some dessert. That means you can literally enjoy some of the tasty food and still lose weight. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You just need to make sure you're following the set principles, which is making sure that you're in your calorie intake, you're hitting your protein intake, and once you've hit your protein intake, you can have more of them sweet tasting foods. So all I would do is on a Saturday night, if I wanted to go out with Chloe and get some food, I'd just prioritize during the day that I'm hitting my protein intake, and then I am taking away my carbs and fats. I'm not having any carbs and fats. I'm just having my protein throughout the day, and then I've got quite a lot of calories left for the evening time to go out and enjoy a piece of pizza or enjoy a burger meal or get some dessert, whatever it may be. And I still lost weight doing this. And as you can see on the screen here, 12 weeks, I lost 20 pounds whilst eating out every single weekend. So you can still have the best of both worlds whilst doing it. But let's say the meal that you're gonna have is going to be more than the calories you've got for that day. I wanna teach you about a technique called calorie banking. It's really simple. So if you're eating 2,000 calories a day, across a 7-day week, that's 14,000 calories. And if you know Saturday night, you're gonna be consuming a lot more than 2,000 calories, all you need to do is Monday to Friday, take 200 calories away each day, and then you've saved up 1,000 calories that you can have extra on the Saturday. So if you know the 1,000 calories that you've got free already on the Saturday that you've saved from not having carbs and fats, you can add the extra 1,000 calories that you've saved from taking the 200 calories away each day, the Monday to Friday. And if you actually do the calculation, 1,800 calories Monday to Friday, and let's say 3,000 calories on a Saturday, and then 2,000 calories on a Sunday, that still equals 14,000 calories. All you've done is distribute them differently. You've taken away more Monday to Friday, you've added a little bit more on the Saturday, and you've gone back to normal to Sunday, and it's still the same amount across the week. So if you want to eat a little bit more on a Saturday, just make sure you're taking some calories away from other meals during the week, and you'll be able to do that. So to summarize, 99% of people only need to know them 2 things: how many calories they need to eat and how much protein they need to eat. Once you know them 2 things, you can have any food that you want as long as it's within your calorie intake. And then no foods are off the table, then you can have whatever you want, and you're not restricting yourself, because when people typically restrict for too long, they want the thing more and more. Like if you tell yourself, I don't want, you're not allowed that one thing, you suddenly want it because you're telling yourself you can't have it. So just include it as part of your plan, and you can still get in great shape rather than thinking, you have to cut all these things out to get in great shape, when the reality is you don't. Right guys, so if you found this video useful, I've got my own personalized recipe book, and in that recipe book, it's got loads of different tasty meals, and all of the calories are tracked, all the protein is tracked. All you need to do is put it into MyFitnessPal. It's also got a barcode that you can just scan and go straight into MyFitnessPal. So if you want to download this, go to the description, press the link, and you can start having these meals on a day-to-day basis or on the weekend or whenever you want. Or if you want to work with me directly, press the other link in the description. So guys, if you like the video, press the like, comment and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.